Cambodia here at the Cincinnati 2016 Comic Expo, and I am with the legendary Larry Hama. Now, can I ask you a couple of questions if you don't mind? All right, what was...
How can I be legendary if I'm still alive?
You know, a living legend, if you will.
I wrote G.I. Joe. I only drew like 2 complete issues and pieces of a bunch of others, but I wrote the book for the entire Marvel run and pretty much created all the characters. I wrote the file cards on the backs of the packages, named them, you know, so I based the characterizations on people I knew so I could keep track of them, you know, because I knew there were going to be so many. And that's the secret of really to keep the stuff consistent instead of, you know, having the character change from story to story.
Base it off of real life experiences and real people you know, right?
Not as much experience as it is the basic character. I mean, I think it's really all about making the characters stand up and be likable. And because if you don't care about the characters, you know, nothing else matters. You don't go back to read the next issue of anything because you said, man, that plot was really terrific. You know, you go back because you know you like the characters and you want to hang out with them, basically, you know, and you want to find out more about them. The way I go about writing the stories is I just put the characters into a situation and let them write it. Because if you do it the opposite way, if you like structure a plot and then force your characters to you know, go through the motions and then arrive at the denouement, that's just choreography. Drew Iron.
Yeah, right.
You know, somebody else wrote it.
Right. Well, you didn't. So the actual character itself. Did you come up with how he was going to look, though?
No. Gil Kane did that. Yeah, I did Iron Fist from the 2nd issue, you know, and but that was the experience that convinced me that I wanted to write more, because you know, this was in 1972 or something like that, 72, 73. My penciling rate at Marvel was $23, okay, and I could barely do a page a day, which meant that I could make more flippin' burgers at Mickey D's, you know. But I had a monthly Marvel comic, you know. I remember my mom said, well, when are you going to get a real job? So I was making $23 a page. The guy that was writing it was making $50 a page for the script. Plus, this guy could write 4 to 5 scripts a week. And I'm thinking, wait a second, he could write. He's making 100 times more than what I'm making, right? And on top of that, he wasn't really doing it. I mean, I did one issue of Iron Fist where the plot he gave me was like 4 sentences. You know, he said, and he didn't even write it out. He like told it to me on the phone. He said, you know, at the beginning of the issue, Iron Fist goes into this building, this Meacham building, a skyscraper, and between the bottom floor and the top floor, he runs into a lot of really dangerous traps and bad guys. And at the top floor, he meets this guy named Triple Iron, and they have the big fight.
You had to come up with the rest.
I had to come up with all the rest, right? And he got paid for it. And I'm sitting there going, what's wrong with this picture? You know, and the second thing I'm saying is, I want me some of that action, man. I mean,
Had to change things up, right?
Man, I said, this guy's getting over, you know. It's like, I said, this is a racket, you know, and I'm getting screwed. And it took me another over 10 years, maybe 10, 15 years before I could get them to give me any writing work, because they knew they had a racket, you know, and the writers, the last thing they want is for an artist to start writing his own stuff. That's like really dangerous. Well, it's taking money out of their pockets, you know. And in fact, back then, the writers got a split on the artwork, which was outrageous, you know. So I don't know.
How do you? You've been involved for it in a long time. How do you like how, you know, the progression of, you know, just the comic book world and how everyone is still involved and interested in it?
I'm pretty amazed. I didn't think comics was going to be around for very long. You know, I've seen it go through all sorts of ups and downs, and it always surprised me.
What about the emergence and all the TV shows and movies? Are you a fan of those?
Well, some of them. I mean, there's some that I can't get past the first episode. I mean, I like Jessica Jones. I like Gotham, you know, but I can't sit through The Flash, and I tried watching S.H.I.E.L.D., and I just couldn't get into that at all. You know, it was...
How did you feel?
Stuff that's really done well, you know. Man, that's like... Yeah, like Daredevil and Jessica Jones. I really like those shows.
What about the G.I. Joe movies?
Nah, I think they missed the point. You know, they missed the point on the G.I. Joe by like completely missing the point that like nobody really cares about anybody else other than Snake Eyes. You know? It's sort of like, you know, they did like 3 X-Men movies before they figured out, you know, nobody really cares about anybody but Wolverine. I mean, they don't really care about this guy with the beams coming out of his eyes, or like, you know, the guy that smells bad when he disappears. You know, it's like, you know, give me a break.
And how often do you draw still? Do you still draw every day or every week maybe, or not too much?
I've been doing layouts for DC. I'm up to my 4th issue of Deathstroke.
That wouldn't work too well.
So I'm drawing a lot more. But I've always drawn. It's just not visibly, you know. I do storyboards for movies and TV. I've done storyboards for Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, Third Watch.
Well, thank you, Mr. Alma, for the interview. You enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Cam Bodie with Around Cincy Town here at the 2016 Comic Expo.
All of us here would like to thank the staff and volunteers at the Cincinnati Comic Expo. I'm Lacey Roberts, and this is Around Cincy Town.